Do you have a personal relationship with the Metcalfs? Yeah. The decision to not have cameras or any kind of streaming, was that an easy one?
Yes, it was an easy decision, and I'll tell you why. My primary goal in any case is to make sure that the defendant and the prosecution gets a fair trial, period. I have seen from other cases around the country where cameras in the courtroom changed the way that the judge acted, the lawyers acted, some of the witnesses acted, and we were not going to have that here. We were going to really isolate the purpose for which we were here for. That ticked me off a little bit, because if you're going to call yourself the press, then and people are going to depend on you to tell them what's going on in this courtroom, you should be telling the truth.
I've found the post-verdict interviews fascinating. And so we are going to listen to the judge in this case. I think he was very insightful. And actually, I think he's going to answer a few of the questions that you have. I still have some pushback, so let's bring him on. Judge
Your name
Roach.
and how you spell it.
Let's go.
My name is John Roach, JOHN ROACH.
Now, I know the answers to that. I know the answer to that question, but I got to ask it for the record.
100%.
You've been on the bench for some time.
Yep, I've been on the bench for about 20 years.
20 years, and this is the end.
Wow. And then 6 months will be in the end.
Did you want to take on this trial?
I wanted the Collin County Judiciary to take on this trial. It was important to me to have somebody from Collin County preside over this Collin County case. So I didn't ask for it. No one, that's not how it works anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't ask for it, but I was certainly willing to do it because that was my duty.
In your conversations with, my guess it's an administrative judge who goes, I know they go down the list and they say, all right, it's your turn and it's your turn. As they go through all the conflicts of judges that may, potential conflicts, when they come and say, John, this may be yours, your first reaction is?
I'll take it. Every time. I think it's my job. It's my duty. That's what I was elected to do.
Yeah.
That's the oath that I took, and I'm going to do my job.
No consultation with your family? Or
None.
No.
Nope.
And where does that come from?
I don't know. I think it's just duty. I think duty, whether that's duty in the Marine Corps or just duty to my family and stuff, I take duty really seriously. And I took this job to perform that duty. And if that's what I had to do, that's what I have to do.
Did you fully at the time grasp the enormity of that decision and the outside stuff?
I don't know. I think in some ways I did. I think in other ways I didn't. I certainly knew it was a very, very important case within our community. I didn't think I realized the enormity of the social media and the media during the trial.
How long have you been prepping for this trial?
I've been prepping for this trial with the departments, with the Collin County system, with the sheriff's office and everybody for about 8 months.
Is that the longest you've ever had to prep?
100%.
Why?
Logistics. One of the critical pieces of this case where we had minors who were testifying. Prior to me getting the case, we had some of those witnesses doxxed and swatted and revealed on social media. I didn't want that to add to the already traumatic event they've been through, and I didn't want them to change their testimony or be uncooperative with people trying to call them as a witness out of fear. And so my number one duty at that point in time getting the case was to how do we protect those minors who are critical to this case to come and testify. Now,
I totally get it. I understand. However, I don't think that we were made. You can protect the minors, which I think is a real need, but also allow public to watch this trial. Those two things don't have to be mutually exclusive. I don't think it had to be an either or. I understood what he was thinking, and he erred on the side of caution. But I don't think it had to be either or type of situation. And I'll explain a little bit later as he unpacks it, but I don't think that it had to be either or. But what did you think?
I agree. I understand where he's coming from. Trying, as he said, it's clear he has a sense or an honor to duty. So he felt a duty to protect the minors. But I think it created maybe a bigger problem because now we have the whole narrative that there wasn't a fair trial. So, and we have nothing to say to that because we couldn't witness it,
No, I agree 100%.
or we can't
And
contest
that's,
those views because yeah.
yeah, and that's what we're going to see in a second. So let's let him go.
I'm sure you've already read and know that one of your fellow judges has already been doxxed and swatted and all the
Yes,
things,
I did know that.
and still no reluctance from wanting to take it on.
None.
Yeah. The decision to not have cameras or any kind of streaming, was that an easy one?
Yes, it was an easy decision, and I'll tell you why. My primary goal in any case is to make sure that the defendant and the prosecution gets a fair trial, period. I have seen from other cases around the country where cameras in the courtroom changed the way that the judge acted, the lawyers acted, some of the witnesses acted, and we were not going to have that here. We were going to really isolate the purpose for which we were here for, which is to have that fair trial, and cameras in the courtroom did not enter into that equation at all.
So you're the judge. Just don't behave differently because the camera's
Mm-hmm.
on. I mean, you don't have to change anything. And I don't
There's
think that
that.
lawyers necessarily would change
Yeah.
anything. Now, sure, you have a possibility that a witness might behave a certain way, but I do think it's
Mm-hmm.
outweighed by the fact that, and we're going to talk about it in a second when he gets to other trials, like there's a reason why we know certain things about various other trials because they were streamed and we all saw them together.
Mm-hmm.
He talks about he's going to talk about the misinformation that came after the trial, or misinformation when people were leaving the court to report on it. The reason it was
Mm-hmm.
misinformation because you didn't stream it so we could all see it.
Right. So we,
Because
yeah, like
go ahead.
it's just their word against yours, Judge Roach.
Right.
Like, there's nothing we can do to prove. Yes, we have the transcripts, but now we'll have people saying that those were modified or perjured in some way.
Right. But even more than that, like based upon the person that you were following, you might believe something about the trial that maybe didn't happen. Like he's going to talk
Yeah.
about people that were reporting, and he was like, "What trial were you in?" Like they were reporting things that were not. And well, I'm following somebody who's saying that Carmelo Anthony was on the stand. Okay, Carmelo Anthony,
Uh-huh.
said this and said that and the other. I'm believing that because I don't have any other way
Mm-hmm.
to corroborate it differently. So I believe because the person I'm following says this, and that's what I believe. Well, lo
Mm-hmm.
and behold, none of that happened. So then I'm going to be shell shocked when the
Mm-hmm.
verdict is out because I'm thinking Carmelo Anthony's winning. And
Right.
lo and behold, this person is lying.
Yeah, there was that example of I saw a couple of street interviews, and a few of the people were like, "Yeah, we saw the video that they played, and
Mm-hmm.
the video that they described is totally different than the video that was played. Like,
Right.
they told us to look here, they told us see this, we were able to see things that never even happened.
Yep.
All of that could have been avoided had we had access to watch it. And like you said, there were other safeguards they could have put in place to protect everyone involved, to
Mhm.
protect their safety, their anonymity, protect the integrity of their testimonies. There are other things that could have been done, but this has created a larger problem.
I agree 100%. All right, let's see.
How much grief did you get from people around you about that decision?
I don't know. I don't listen to it. I just flat don't listen to what's going on the outside. I do what I think is right,
I like
no
it.
matter what decision that is. And I sleep well at night
I do
knowing
as
if I
well.
follow the law, then everything works out like it's supposed to. And so these outside influences, all the noise from the outside, I really isolated myself from that in this case and in all cases, and just do my job, do the best I can, following the law.
How do you think we're talking with the attorneys, other attorneys outside of this. How do you think they describe you?
Strict, no nonsense, fair, and that to me is the most important part. I know for a fact when I make a decision here, people are unhappy. What I hope is when they walk out the door that they think they got a fair trial, or a fair hearing, or fair something. And if they do that, no matter what they think about me personally, then I've succeeded.
And you're okay with any of those characterizations?
I think they're fair.
Yeah. I hate to have to ask about stuff that emerges on social media, but I have to ask it. And I know you don't know of any of it because you're not on social media.
I'm on it. I mean, I'm an elected official, so I have a Facebook page and stuff. Do I look at it? Do I monitor it? Do I let it impact me? None. Not at all.
So I have to ask, do you have a personal relationship with the Metcalfs?
I wouldn't know Mr. Metcalf prior to this trial if he walked up to me and said hello.
So this is answering because there's they're going to get into AI pictures and AI videos and stuff of that nature. And of course that AI picture of allegedly him and Metcalf and the DA or whatever all at a party together. He's like, I have no idea what that is. But that's where he's going with this.
I don't know the Metcalfs. I sympathize with the Metcalfs and what they've been through and all, but I don't know them personally. Never have.
So these AI images emerging of you and them at a party or drinking together, all
Never
of that.
happened. And that's the problem with social media, isn't it? You can't tell what's true and what's not true. I will tell you, I got some reports of some things that were coming out of this courtroom, and I wondered to myself, were they even in the same courtroom that I was? It's that bad, and I think that's tragic, because I think really if you just listen to the case based upon the facts, you'd understand it so much better.
Do you think it reinforced your decision to not have cameras or streaming inside this?
Sort of. I will tell you this, sometimes I think maybe I should have at least the audio streamed or something so people could hear it. But at the end of the day, I don't think,
at least the audio.
no matter what, people are going to distort whatever happens or whatever they hear into their own agenda. And so what's the point?
That's true, but
and again, that noise affects people. It affects the fair.
Go ahead. No, I agree with you. Go ahead.
I mean, it's true. People are going to have somebody somewhere is going to disagree, say it was unfair, all this and that. But it'd be easier to discredit what they said if we had at least the audio. Like he could have thrown us that. He could have at least given us the audio. He's right, but people are always going to be unhappy. But if you have the evidence on your side, yeah.
We watched it in real time. We all watched it together. That's the problem I think missing. And again, I said this early on, like there are trials that we know were complete and utter dumpster fires. And we were talking before we got started, like the Johnny Depp trial, the Karen Reed trial. There's so much that we know about the little nuances that you're not going to get from a transcript. You're not going to get the look of Johnny Depp's face when Amber Heard is saying this. You're not going to get the look on Karen Reed's face when this is going on. You only get that because we actually watched the trial. The woman that put her boyfriend in the suitcase, I forgot the name. The woman down in Florida, her husband zipped her boyfriend up in a suitcase and left him there to suffocate. Well,
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about. And but we know about it because
There are a
we
lot of
watched
them, but yeah.
Yeah. And so otherwise, it's very possible that somebody could have been reporting to us that, Karen Reed is, doing well. Karen Reed is, she's shellacking, or Johnny Depp is getting waylaid. And we would have been believing that until the verdict came out. But because we were able to watch it, or it was able to be watched rather, that's how we knew what was going on. So the cameras actually held people accountable on their reporting as well as what was going on in the courtroom, but actually the reporting.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I don't know about that part, but let's see how he goes.
Yes.
That's what the
100%.
trial, the
I'm there with you. Right.
safety of the witnesses, the safety of the jury. And those are my primary concerns, not what social media says.
Now
And
that
it's not my duty. I don't think it's my job to feed social media or the media stuff. I certainly understand the role that media plays in a case like this, but I'm not here to feed it. And I took that very, very seriously.
But Judge, when people don't have access to the trial or the courtroom, doesn't it invite speculation?
Well, sort of, but I got 70 seats in my courtroom, and I had 200 requests by the media to sit in the courtroom. So let's say if I just entertain the press, then I have nobody from the public watching what's going on in their county. And so I had to do a balance between the media's right to know and to be able to report what's going on, because I think that's extraordinarily important. I think it's important that the general public had access to the courtroom and to see what was going on. And so I tried to balance all those things with the primary, again, purpose of having a fair trial. And I think I struck that balance pretty well.
It's a sticky wicket. I'm not trying to make light of it, but if you had media in there,
Sticky
if you
wicket.
had,
I love it.
right? I know it's hard for, again, he's trying to get a balance. And if you just streamed it, the people would be able to see it. It's not like it would be streamed only to you. Like the world would be able to see it. And I
Right.
personally believe a lot of the aftermath would have died down. Some of these stories, like you said, the person that came out there and said they saw the video. I'm like, where did you, like, wait, hold on. The video that they described sounds like a UFC fight night. Like, what are you talking about? That doesn't sound anything like what in
Yeah.
trial. But because we didn't see it either, we got to go with what this person said. I don't think that person was
We
being
didn't
honest.
see it. We didn't hear it. We didn't get any of it.
Yeah. So I don't know if saying that, hey, well, not streaming it is being faithful to the people in the community. They could have watched it just like we did, or like we would have if it had been streamed. So I don't know if that was a best solution to that, in my opinion.
The media's right to know
I don't. Right.
is
I
the
agree.
public's
I think he
right
messed
to
up.
know. Is the public's
No, I agree 100%.
access. We are the extension of that public.
I think somebody from the public who will wanted to come watch a trial and know that they were excluded from the trial because all the media was there, I beg to differ.
Do you think there was a possibility for a learning experience? I mean, people do not know about how trial works. Do you think that this may have been an opportunity for people to know how it truly works, and that kind of erases some of the negative notions of court and trial?
I'm doing
and
this
justice.
interview with you to make sure that people understand how the system works. And if they really wanted to, and I mean this seriously, if they wanted to, they could have stood in line with everybody else and had the 27 to 32 public seats that we had in this courtroom that we rotated every day. And so was that important to them? They could have made it in here.
How did you plan for some of the outside noise?
So again, I still think, I understand what he's saying. He does seem like a no-nonsense, very stern guy, so I'm not taking anything from that. All I'm saying is, sir, if it had been streamed, a lot of the confusion wouldn't happen. Now, he's going to talk about the stuff that happened outside, and to me, I think that's a direct byproduct of the fact that it wasn't streamed. That's really going to be it. You'll see in a moment. Anything you want to add to that?
Well, we were certainly playing with the sheriff's office and the McKinney Police Department and
Well, also,
Allen Police
here, one
Department
thing.
and the Frisco Police.
Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I know that he says. Oh, sorry. There's a delay. Probably my fault again.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Hold on. There's a bad delay. No. My picture is missing. Okay, we're back. I understand that he wants the people of the county, their specific community, to know what's going on with the trial that affected their community. But this is a case that made national and international news. And he had to know that it was going to ruffle the feathers, the international feathers, national and international feathers. So it wasn't just a case for their community. I understand that. And I appreciate that you have someone who cares about the people that he serves. I appreciate that. But this is a bigger issue. It was a bigger case than just for their local surroundings.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with you. Good catch.
Department. So those were talks that we're having 8 months before the trial to ensure the safety of the people out in the parking lots. They certainly had a right to demonstrate and all, and I think we struck a very, very good balance that allowed them to do that, at the same time maintaining safety of everybody involved.
Did it affect your day-to-day decisions?
It didn't. Actually, I didn't. I came in from a different entrance from the courthouse. I didn't come in through the front. I couldn't hear any noise at all from my office. The jurors were not facing the parking lot, so they didn't see anything or hear anything. And I think we did a marvelous job in isolating them and having them concentrate just on what was going on in this courtroom, which was my instruction from the very, very beginning.
What made this trial different?
I think it started off bad. And it started off bad with the doxing and the swatting of the judge and the parties, the witnesses, and all that stuff. So I think it started off bad, and I'm going to attribute that to social media. And I think social media got it wrong. And it is what it is. I think that's something we have to live with these days. But I think it's my responsibility and other judges' responsibility to make sure no matter what's going on in social media, that someone can walk in a courthouse and get a fair trial.
Did it make it very different when you realized a lot of your witnesses are young witnesses?
No, look, I've been doing this for 20 years. A lot of the witnesses come in all shapes and sizes and colors and all that. And so that was normal for me. What wasn't normal for me is to have those witnesses be intimidated by things being said on social media, because those young people rely on social media more than I certainly do. And so that sure impacted me to make sure that they did not change their testimony. They were willing to come in and tell the truth without fear of being doxxed or swatted and stuff. And so I took every precaution that I could, consistent with the law, to make that happen.
I know Steve brought it up to you, and I know that both sides probably brought it up as well. The AI images of people claiming to be inside this courtroom.
Yeah, that ticked me off a little bit, because if you're going to call yourself the press, and people are going to depend on you to tell them what's going on in this courtroom, you should be telling the truth. And so Mr. Stoller, my public information officer, brought it to my attention that some news outlets were posting photos saying from inside the courtroom. And it wasn't my courtroom, it wasn't the witness, it wasn't their testimony. And that's tragic, because, again, that just breeds the narrative that these people want to cultivate in our community to drive a wedge between us. And I think that's terrible.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm just going to say it one more time. This is probably the last time. The reason being is because it wasn't streamed. And that would have fixed that. I think he's realizing it.
You see all the problems that were created.
Yeah. I think he realizes it. But I understand the reason why he did it, but I don't think he realized if he could go back, or if he had another 10 years on the bench, I bet you he would not do this again. If every year he had a trial that was, a larger trial like this, I bet you he would have just let them be streamed and just set in some guardrails in place, which, like here in Georgia, we had all our trials are streamed. That's a law in Georgia. So, I mean, he could definitely move like that. And you really have to, So now, it doesn't mean that you get your own news outlet. They have one main stream, and all the news outlets take that one stream and stream it. So it's one camera, one angle, bada boom. That fixes it. And I think if he was going to be on, because he sounds like he's going to retire this year. If he were going to be on longer, I bet you would do that. But go ahead.
It's maybe because he's not plugged into social media. He seems adamant about that. I have it because I'm a public person, whatever. But I'm not on it. I think that because he was working with people, they had a team working, prepping for this trial. Did anyone try to bring to his attention, like, similar trials, past trials of a different nature, and the public outrage, and how we could mitigate that risk by streaming? I just wonder what took place in those conversations, because it just seems like this was a big ball that was dropped. We dropped the ball here. A lot of this could have been avoided altogether by just streaming it.
An argument for me.
Since we're on the topic of image, can we talk about some of the drawings of you during the sketch art?
Absolutely.
What do you think? What do you think?
My wife would show me a drawing every once in a while of a court case going on. I couldn't figure out who the judge was. And it's all serious. The sketch artist was awesome. She was very sweet. She was here every day, putting her life's work into those images. Because we didn't have cameras in the courtroom, that's the only visual that anybody got. She did a marvelous, marvelous job. I think I'm more handsome than what she portrayed overall, but I'll let everybody else figure that out.
Did the jury get it right?
Yeah, they did. You know why? Because they were picked based upon the law. They listened to the facts. It happened here in this very courtroom, and they got a verdict. And so that's the process. And whatever they say, they get it right.
There's going to be a lot of scrutiny over voir dire, and you excused, you denied the defense, and the dismissing of 3 jurors who at least identified as African American on their bioforms. What did you make of that moment?
Well, that's not exactly how it works. The defense didn't dismiss them.
I'm sorry, the defense raised an objection.
They raised an objection, yeah.
Yeah.
They have raised an objection. Like I told you before, as long as I follow the law, I sleep well at night. And I'm telling you, I follow the law in that case. Did I know what the perception was going to be? Sure. I knew in the back of my mind what the perception was going to be. But I'm not here to satisfy perceptions. I'm not here to satisfy agendas. I'm not here to do any of those things. I'm here to follow the law. And I did it to a T. And I'm proud of that. Very proud of that.
Is this your last big trial?
It's my last big trial. The sad part about it is, I will tell you before I leave at the end of the year, I'll try a couple more murder cases, for example. The parking lot won't be full. The gallery won't be full of people watching the case. But we still have somebody who's died and someone accused of doing the killing. And it won't draw the attention that this case did. And their death is no less tragic than the tragic death of the young man in this case. And so, big trial, I guess, from an outsider's perspective, and the social media and the media interest in the case. But crime still happens in Collin County, and every single person deserves to have as fair of a trial that Karmelo Anthony had.
I know you liked that episode. This is actually a clip from a larger live stream. The link is down in the description, so you can go check it out. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you down there. Grace and peace.